Hello friends, in this video we are going to learn how to connect Microsoft SQL Server database with Microsoft Visual Basic .NET. First of all, we have to install Microsoft Visual Studio of any version on your laptop or PC and Microsoft SQL Server on your laptop or on your PC. So friends, here on my laptop I have installed Microsoft Visual Studio 2013 and Microsoft SQL Server 2008. So first of all, we need to create a database and then we can connect this database with the Microsoft Visual Basic .NET. So first of all, I will create here the database in Microsoft SQL Server of 2008 version. So I will open this Microsoft SQL Server 2008. Here you should go to SQL Server Management Studio. Click on it, then you will see one connection to the server dialog box. In that dialog box, server name is by default displayed as Santosh PC, which is the name I have given to my laptop. So if you don't know the server name and your PC name, then you have to go to the my computer or this PC icon and choose the properties from it. When you choose the properties from it, here you will see computer name, and this computer name will be your server name while connecting to the Microsoft SQL server. So friends, here server name has been displayed as a Santosh PC. So here you click on this connect button so that your connection is established with the Microsoft SQL Server 2008. Here you will get some folders, and from that folders we have to we have to right click on this databases folder and choose the new database option. Here you will get the dialog box where you can provide the database name. Here in the database name text box, you can give the database name. For example, suppose std database. std database is the database name I want to give to my database. Okay, so here click on the OK button so that the std database is created in the databases folder. So click on the plus sign so that you will get to see here the database which you have created. The database which we have created here is capital SDT database. Okay, so this database we have recently created. So click on this plus sign and you will see some folders, and from these folders we have to click on the tables. We have to right click on the tables and choose the new table option from it. So you will get one dialog box and designing of the tables. Here you will get the column name and data type and allow null fields. So here in the column name field you can give the attribute list or column names to your table. So for example, suppose I am here creating a employee database. So EMP ID is my first column name, and the data type of this column name is small integer, and whether you want to allow the null values to this employee ID or not based on this checkbox button. If you don't want to allow the null values to be inserted into the employee ID field, then deselect this checkbox. Okay, now if we want to create another column name, that is emp name, and the data type of this emp name will be NV character 50, and here name is also not null. So here we have deselected the checkbox. Okay. Now the third column is salary, EMP salary, EMP salary. So these three fields we have created, and the data type of this EMP salary is a small integer, and here deselect the allow null values. So here, dear friends, we have created three columns: EMP ID, EMP name, and EMP salary, which will be in your table, that is dbo.table_1 is the by default table name given to the table. If you want to change the table name, then you can change it. Now just to close it, it will ask you to whether you want to save changes to this dbo.table_1. Then here click yes. Now again it will ask you the table name. Okay, for example, suppose table name, I want to change this table name, for example, suppose, or if you want to keep as it is, that is table_1. So just you click on it, so that same table name, that is table_1, that table will be created into the SDT database. So here, come here and click on the plus sign of table, then you will get here dbo.table_1. So right click over it and choose the edit top 200 rows to insert the records into the table_1. So now here we can give EMP ID, EMP name, EMP salary. So EMP ID will be 101. Then name here we can give is Ramesh. Then the salary to this Ramesh is 10,000. Now here we can enter second record 102. Then here Ganesh. Then here salary will be 20,000. Then 103 is the value to the EMP ID. Then Suresh is the name. Then here we can give 30,000 salary to this. Okay, so here friends, we have created the data table into the database, that is name of this database is capital S DT and capital D database. Okay, so in that SDT database we have created the table_1. T capital is there, table_1 is the table name which we have given. So now close this, so that table as well as the database is created into the Microsoft SQL Server 2008 version. So now close this Microsoft SQL Management Studio and now open the Microsoft Visual Studio 2013, which is installed on my PC. So click on it, then go to the new project and open the project, and here we are going to connect the Microsoft SQL Server database with the Windows application of Microsoft Visual Basic .NET. So here I will give the name, that is my database connection demo. This is the name I have given to my Windows application. Here the Windows application will be opened. So here you will get one form in the Windows application, and you can drag and drop the controls on it. So initially I am going to connect the database with Microsoft SQL Server database via this Microsoft Visual Basic .NET. So initially the connection is going to be established into this Microsoft SQL Server and Microsoft Visual Basic .NET, and the data is fetched from the Microsoft SQL Server database, and that data will be shown and opened into the list boxes. So there in the database we have three fields, that is EMP ID, EMP name and EMP salary. So for this purpose we need three list boxes, because in first list box I am going to open the EMP ID of all the employees, and in the list box second I will open EMP names of all the employees, and in the third list box I am going to open the salaries of all employees. Okay, so here we need three list boxes. So I am going to copy this list box and paste over it. So here dear friends, we have copied the three list boxes. So the first list box is for EMP ID, second is for EMP name, and third is for EMP salary. Now then again after this we are going to insert the new record into the Microsoft SQL Server database. Then we are going to delete the record from the SQL Server database, and we are going to update the record from the Microsoft SQL Server database. For this purpose we need some buttons. Okay, so here I have I have taken one command button, and the command button, this first command button is for inserting the new record into the Microsoft SQL Server database. So the name of this name of this button will be insert. Okay, insert. Then again we need another command button for update. So the name of this command button will be update. Okay, now the third command button which we are going to create here is, and this button is for deleting the record from what, a Microsoft SQL Server database. Okay, and the fourth command button which is I am going to take here is for closing this application or closing this form. So here close, okay, or exit, or we can say we need to give the exit name to this command button. Okay, exit. So friends, whenever we are going to insert a new record into the Microsoft SQL Server database, we need to provide the three values. The first value for EMP ID, second value is for EMP name, and the third value for the employee salary, so that these three values will get inserted into the Microsoft SQL Server database. So for this purpose we need some text boxes for holding the values for EMP ID, EMP name and EMP salary. Okay, so here I will take three text boxes. Here. So make it multi-line so that we can modify and resize this text box until and unless we make it multi-line. Okay, for example, suppose this is the first text box is for EMP ID. Now we have to copy this and paste it. This text box is for EMP name, and this text box is for EMP salary. Okay, again we need to take some label button so that user can understand which text box is for what purpose. So here I will take one label, and the name of this label will be EMP ID. Then the next label will be, Control Z and Control C to copy this label. There Control V, and again Control V for this. Okay, so we need to change the name of this EMP ID to change it to EMP name. Okay, EMP name, and this label and the name of this label or title of this label will be EMP salary. Okay, EMP salary. So these fields I have created. Okay, now when we click on the insert button, then whatever the ID, name and salary is given into these text boxes, that will get inserted into the Microsoft SQL Server table. Okay, whenever we update whenever we want to update the particular record, then we have to provide the employee ID of that particular person, and whatever the field which we need to change, here we have to give that field value into the EMP salary or EMP name. And whenever we want to delete a particular record from the Microsoft SQL Server database from the Windows application, then here when we click on this delete button, then the ID which is given into the EMP ID text box, that EMP ID record will be deleted from the Microsoft SQL Server database table. And when we click on the exit button, then our whole application will be closed. Okay, now dear friends, now on the form load event, I am going to connect the Windows application with the Microsoft SQL Server database, and once the form is loaded into the memory, then all these list boxes, list box 1, list box 2 and list box 3 will be filled with the EMP IDs into the list box 1, EMP name into the list box 2 and EMP salary into the list box 3 for the all record. So I will write here the code. So we have to write the code behind the form load event. So we need to double click on the form, so that we will be into the form load event. So friends, whenever you are going to connect the Microsoft SQL Server database with the Visual Basic.NET Windows application, then we need to import the particular namespace, and that namespace is system.data.sql client. So we need to import this. So how to write the statement? See here, imports system.data.sql client. We need to import this namespace, okay, while connecting the database. So first of all, we have to create the variable of a connection class. So variable of a connection, name of a connection variable I am going to give is my connection. Okay, my connection as SQL connection. Then dim my CMD. This is the command class. Okay, command class variable. Then SQL command. Okay, then for reading the values, reading the records from the Microsoft SQL Server database, we need one data reader. Okay, so for that purpose also we are creating here my DR, my RD, my reader as SQL data reader. Okay, now one variable we need for storing the string connection or a string connection string. So here I am going to declare one string type of variable, that is strcon as st string. Okay, now these variables, 4 variables I have created here. Now if you want to make connection in between the Windows application and Microsoft SQL Server database, then we have to create an object of the connection class. So here my connection object is mycon equal to new SQL connection, and here we need to pass the connection string. So here we have to have the connection string with us, so that we can provide this connection string here into the connection object. But before that, we need to load the connection string into the variable str. We need to declare strcon is equal to, here we need to paste the connection string. Now dear students, I am going to show you here how connection string is taken from the Microsoft SQL Server connection provider. So for this purpose we need to go to the view menu, then select the server explorer from here, then you will see here add data connection. So click on this data connection, right click on this data connection and click on the add connection. Okay, then after that you will see here data source. So here data source, Microsoft data source is by default Microsoft Access database file, but here we are connecting our application with the Microsoft SQL Server database. So here we need to change the provider. So here you will get one dialog box, and from this dialog box you have to choose the Microsoft SQL Server. So click on it and click on the OK. Okay, then you will see one dialog box here, and data source is chosen here, Microsoft SQL Server SQL client. So here we have to give the server name. So server name will be your PC name or the laptop name, whichever given to your laptop or PC, that will be the server name. But if you don't know the server name, then you can simply write here dot, so that automatically the server name will be considered as your local computer or local laptop. So here with the help of only dot we can give the server name. Just press the tab buttons to go to the another menus or option. Okay, here the another option is, that is select or enter a database name. So here we can write the database name to which we are going to make the connection. Here the database name, if you know the database name, then you can directly type that database name, and when you don't know the database name, then here you have to click on this down arrow button, so that all the database list will be shown here. So our database which we have created is SDT database, so click on it. So SDT database is chosen for the database connection. So here for checking the whether the connection is established or not, so you have to click on the test connection command button, so that you can cross verify that whether the correct connection is made or not. So here test connection is succeeded, it means your connection is properly established. So here then for taking the connection string, here you have to click on the advanced command button, so that you will get here the connection string, that is data source equal to dot initial catalog equal to SDT database. Here you have to copy this all connection string and cancel it, then here OK, and here you have to close this and come to your connection string, and you have to paste here that connection string, so that the whole connection string will be there into the strcon variable. Now this strcon variable you can pass here to the connection object, so strcon. Okay, now the connection is established. Now we need to open the connection. So mycon dot open, so the connection is open. Now connection is open. Now we have to execute the command or query. Okay, so for executing the query we need to create an object of the command class, SQL command class. So mycmd equal to new mycmd equal to new SQL command, and in this SQL command we need to provide the SQL command. Okay, now the SQL command for retrieving the whole records from the table is select star from, and our table name is from the database SDT database. Our table name is capital T ABLE underscore 1. So this is our table name. Okay, and here we need to provide the object of a connection class, that is mycon. So here my CMD is initialized. Okay, now after executing the command on the database table underscore 1, now we have to execute this command and fill the data reader with the records from this query output. So for this purpose, what I need to do is my reader, my RD equal to my CMD dot execute data reader, execute data execute reader. Okay, execute reader, so that our my data reader will be filled with the records from the table underscore 1. Okay, now the data has been stored into the my RD data reader, so we need to open, or we need to read the one by one records from the my reader. Okay, so obviously there are many records into the my reader, because there are 3 records which we have entered into the table underscore 1 table into the database. So we need to read all these records. So for this purpose we need the while loop. So while my reader dot read, okay, then what we are going to do here is we are going to show the each and every record of the my reader into the list boxes. So list box 1 dot items dot add. Here what we are going to add into the list box 1 items, that is the first record, first column of first record, that is EMP ID, which we are going to display into this list box 1. So here my reader, my RD of 0 is the first column of the first record. Now in the list box 2, dot items dot add, here my reader of first, that is EMP name, and into the list box 3, we are going to list box 3 dot items dot add, and here we are going to add is my reader of 2. This means here 0 stands for the first column, 1 stands for the second column, and 2 stands for the second column of the data reader's value. Okay, so here 0th column of the table is the EMP ID, first column of the table is the EMP name, and second column of the EMP is the EMP salary. All these records will be displayed one by one into the my reader data reader, and from this my reader data reader we are fetching the records and displaying it into the list box 1, list box 2, and list box 3. After doing this, we need to close this connection. So and before that we need to close the data reader. So here my reader dot close. Okay, so this reader is closed, and here we have to close the my connection dot close, my con dot close. So here we have closed it. Okay, now here this is what the we have established the connection in between the Microsoft Visual Basic .NET and Microsoft SQL Server for connecting with the database and fetching the particular table and storing that table into the MyReader storage, and from the MyReader storage we are fetching the data from the MyReader and displaying that data into the list box 1, list box 2, and list box 3. So here we have completed the connection and fetching the data from the tables. So we will run it, and you will see here the all list boxes are filled. The first list box is filled with all EMP IDs, that is 101, 102 and 103. Then the second list box is filled with the all names of employee, and third list box is filled with the salaries of the employee. Okay, so dear friends, in the next video we will see how to insert new record into the table underscore 1, how to update the records from this table, and how to delete the record from the table. Okay, now we will see it into the next video. Thank you very much.